Welcome to the Rise of Immortals Immortal Spotlight. Today, we will be evaluating one of our newest tournament entrants, Nauria, the Angel of Agony. Nauria is a melee damage character whose focus is dealing significant damage very quickly to individual enemies. Nauria's close combat capability allows her to destroy enemies who wander alone or are caught in her grasp. She is most valuable when she can use Misery's Reach as a powerful initiation tool to give her team the edge. Nauria is weakest when she cannot initiate on the right target or single an enemy out during teamfights. In order to fulfill her role, Nauria's item build should be tailored to suit her needs as an initiator and close combat specialist. At the beginning of the game, take a Blade of Randar's to give Nauria bonus early game damage and some sustainability in lane. As the game progresses, grab D-Mizzle's boots as well as an Amulet of Duality and start upgrading all 3 items. As mid to late game ensues, some solid item choices are Orchid Stone, Bloodstone Pendant, Serrated Edge, and Sorcerer's Seal, in some combination depending on your needs. Nauria's first ability is Misery's Grasp. Nauria's Chainsword Misery shoots in the targeted direction, dragging the first immortal or non-neutral creep it comes in contact with back to Nauria and dealing damage if it's an enemy. This is Nauria's keystone ability. It can be used for initiating or retrieving any fleeing enemies. Aiming Misery's Grasp properly will be very difficult, but highly rewarding. It has a very long range when maximum rank, which makes Nauria's ganks from fog, brush, or behind impassable exceptionally lethal. When using this ability, it is important to be mindful of the travel speed and trajectories of the skill shot and your target. Misery's Grasp can also be used on allied immortals to rescue them from the enemy team. Nauria's next ability is Shroud of Despair. This ability deals a set amount of damage, distributed evenly among all nearby enemies, and heals Nauria for a proportional amount. In addition, this ability leaves a temporary debuff on all targets hit that causes Nauria's attacks to deal additional damage. Shroud of Despair is unique for an area effect ability because it splits the total damage among the targets hit. This means that Nauria should try to use this ability with only a single target in proximity to deal the most possible burst damage. Nauria's third ability is Sanguine Rites. Sanguine Rites launches a bolt of blood magic at the targeted ally or enemy, healing or dealing damage respectively. Repeated use of Sanguine Rites will make it cost additional health. As the health cost increases, the ability powers up, and if Nauria is at 3 charges, it will fear the target if it is an enemy. Feared targets run directly away from Nauria and cannot use abilities or attack. Using this ability effectively requires Nauria to pay special attention to allies' health and enemies' positioning. During a teamfight, if Nauria is not at risk of dying, she can provide additional healing to her allies in exchange for damage output. Nauria's ultimate ability is Spiral of Pain. Nauria imbues Misery with dark magic and dances violently, dealing constant magical damage based on her weapon damage to all nearby enemies. During this time, Nauria is immune to standard crowd control and moves more quickly. Spiral of Pain will be Nauria's largest damage contribution during teamfights or skirmishes throughout the game. In order to maximize the damage dealt, try to use Spiral of Pain on enemies when their escape mechanisms are on cooldown so that they can't get out of the damage radius. Additionally, the bonus damage debuff from Shroud of Despair can have an enormous impact on Spiral of Pain's damage output. Misery's Reach is Nauria's signature ability. For a duration after activating this ability, Nauria empowers Misery, using the full length of the sword with every swing. During this time, Nauria's attacks gain range and pull enemies she attacks towards her. Nauria will also deal additional damage as magical damage to any enemy between her and her current target. This ability allows Nauria to disrupt her enemy's positioning, prevent them from channeling abilities, and makes it impossible to run from Nauria. Nauria can excel in either the solo lane or a duo lane. In either lane setup, your goal is to harass with Sanguine Rites while trying to align Misery's Grasp for a kill. Depending on the difficulty of the lane, adjust your skill order for sustain, damage, or ganking potential. If Nauria has the solo lane, be sure to take advantage of times your lane opponent goes back. Attempt to gank other lanes if they are overextended. Avoid line of sight by utilizing Brush and Impassable to catch opponents unsuspecting. The champion tree bonuses for Misery's Grasp and Sanguine Rites are especially potent to upgrade on the way to your signature ability. After grabbing the signature, either the offensive or defensive tree is viable to give Nauria extra damage or survivability. Utilize an artifact build that gives health regeneration, movement speed, magical resistance penetration, armor, and magic resist. And that concludes this week's Immortals Spotlight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. To learn more about Rise of Immortals, visit signup.riseofimmortals.com to download and play the game today for free.